One-size-fits-all AI is dead. If you're still relying on one AI platform, you're falling behind, and you'll be stuck in expensive contracts that can't adapt. Here's what nobody tells you. The AI market is specialized. ChatGPT isn't the best at everything. Claude dominates coding. Grok owns real-time intelligence. And Gemini, a visual powerhouse. In this video, I'll explain which model suits each use case using real market data. You'll also get a decision framework that you can use right now. Today, we're covering 4 things. Number 1, why the monopoly died and what that means for you. Number 2, the 4 specialized models that you need to learn. Number 3, the price war that's coming and how you can prepare. Number 4, my framework for choosing the right model in under 5 minutes. Let's get into it. Before I break down the models, you need to understand what's happening in the market. David Sachs from the All In podcast has an interesting perspective. He's the former COO of PayPal, an investor in many tech companies, and also the crypto and AI czar for the White House. He also discussed why we're in a code red moment for AI. Listen to this.
With respect to the ecosystem as a whole, it is very competitive. And I think we've got 5 major companies and they all have their strengths. So ChatGPT is the leader in consumer. They have something like 80% market share in consumer use of LLM chatbots. But then Google came out with their new Gemini 3, and they were starting to take share based on the strength of Gemini 3 and the integration it has, obviously, within Google search, because it's very easy for people to discover it when they do a Google search, and now they're seeing that it's actually pretty good. So they were starting to take share from ChatGPT, and I think that's why Sam issued the code red. Then you've got Anthropic, like you mentioned, where I don't particularly love what I've called their regulatory capture strategy, but I have to acknowledge their products are very good. Everybody seems to say that they have the best coding assistant, and they're carving out a very lucrative niche in enterprise.
Do you see what he's saying there? The market isn't consolidating around one winner. It's breaking into specialists. And here's the data backing that up. ChatGPT still owns 62 to 74% of consumer usage. Claude jumped from 18 to 29% market share in just 1 year, specifically for coding. And coding, that's not some niche use case. It's 55% of all enterprise AI spend. If you depend on ChatGPT for all of your needs, including complex automation tasks, you could be missing out. Let's look at the 4 models that you need, and we'll discuss when to use each one, starting with the one that you probably already know. ChatGPT, the Swiss Army knife. ChatGPT is still the most well-known for a reason. 800 million weekly active users. That's massive market penetration. It's best for initial concepts, customer support, marketing copy, consumer-facing apps. It's general purpose, which means that it's good at a lot of things, but not the best for specific tasks. Here's the catch. Teams often stick with ChatGPT because it's familiar. They use it for everything, even when other models could do it better. Use ChatGPT when you need breadth and speed. Don't rely on it for coding or real-time information. That is not its strength. Now for my favorite Claude, the workhorse. This is where the market has evolved. Claude has quietly become the dominant force in enterprise coding. Check out these numbers. 42% market share in enterprise coding. Compare that to OpenAI's 20%. 77% score in SWE bench verified. That's real-world engineering tasks. 77% of Claude API usage is for full task delegation, not just help. It's best for process automation, complex coding, building internal tools, and extracting data. Here's why this matters for you. If you're setting up an automation system, like extracting data from PDFs, linking your CRM to other tools, or making internal dashboards, Claude is the best. It excels at systematic, repeatable workflows. The kind of stuff that saves your team 10 to 15 hours per week once it's set up. Now here's where things get interesting. What if you need intelligence about what is happening right now? Not yesterday's news, not last week's trends, right this very second. Sachs explains why this matters and which model delivers.
And then you've got XAI, which I think is the best at current events because of the integration with X. And also Elon seems to be able to scale his data center, his training cluster, the fastest. He's got, he had Colossus 1, now he's got Colossus 2. And that portends good things for Grok 5. It's going to be trained on the largest cluster of Blackwells. So in any event, you've got all these companies that are doing pretty well. I guess Meta has sort of hit some headwinds, but they're going to continue investing tremendously in AI, and they've got deep pockets to do it. So I think that they'll come back. And, what you see is all these companies are kind of leapfrogging each other. You get a new version and then they sort of leapfrog each other in terms of benchmarks.
The leaderboards are showing that. Yes, Sachs. When you look at the leaderboard,
exactly.
It's constantly Grok comes above Gemini, Gemini comes
There's
above
a lot
Grok,
of leapfrogging going on. There's a lot of, also I'd say, specialization now going on in the ways that I just mentioned. All these companies are developing strengths. There's sort of verticals happening.
Yes.
And so I've described this as sort of a Goldilocks scenario where you're making a lot of progress in AI, but the market is remaining very competitive. Ideally, it does not consolidate just to one monopoly player like we've seen in other tech markets, because then you end up with a big tech company that's got too much power and control. That's not generally a great thing for consumers.
Grok is the real-time intelligence engine. Grok has a huge advantage that others can't match. It integrates directly with the X platform. That's billions of real-time posts, sentiment, and breaking news, all feeding into the model as it happens. It's best for market intelligence, competitive monitoring, trending topics, current events, and social sentiment. But here's the critical warning. Grok has a 94% hallucination rate when it comes to source citation. 94%. That means that if you ask it for a source, it's probably going to make it up. So you can't use Grok for unsupervised business intelligence or compliance work. It's a signal generator. It tells you something is happening, but check other sources to confirm. If you track trends or public sentiment, Grok's integration with X is an absolute must. Just to verify first. Gemini, the visual powerhouse. If you're making any visual content, like marketing material, product mockups, or social media assets, this is what you need. Gemini's Imagen 3 generates 2048 by 2048 pixel images. That is significantly higher than any other model. It's best for marketing assets, product mockups, prototypes, presentations, and social media content. But here is the real benefit. If you're using Google Workspace like Docs, Slides, or Gmail, Gemini's integration makes it easy. You're not jumping between platforms. You're generating images right in the presentation deck. Plus, Gemini has a massive context window, up to 1 million tokens. That means it can read entire libraries of documents at once. Great for legal discovery or analyzing large reports where you need to see the whole picture, not just parts. Now, before you start signing an annual contract with any of these providers, you need to hear what's coming next. Listen to this insight about the price war that's about to hit the market.
Through all four of them, here's what Google and other folks are planning. They're going to take the main revenue stream of OpenAI and they're going to suck the oxygen out of the room and they're going to try to strangle Sam and the team over there by making it free. So right now, 75% of that revenue.
Metaphor.
Very violent metaphor.
But this is war. This is the greatest battle we've seen since like Netscape versus Microsoft and the internet. They're going to make Gemini free for life for the best models. That's my prediction for Google. And I think Meta will be right behind them. Why? They have the ad network already built.
Do you see the implication there? Google and Meta are positioning to make premium AI capabilities for free, not out of generosity, but to commoditize and gain an advantage. This means 3 things for your AI strategy. Number 1, don't lock yourself into expensive multi-year vendor contracts. Number 2, build your AI systems to be platform agnostic. You should be able to swap your models without rebuilding everything. 3, the price war will speed up specialization, not kill it. As general capabilities become cheaper, specialized performance will cost more. But you'll navigate this wisely. So how do you decide which model to use? Here's my framework. T is for task classification. What type of work is this? Creative, analytical, real-time, visual. V is for volume. How many requests per month? Hundreds, thousands, millions. C is for complexity, a single query or complex orchestration. R is for risk. What happens if the AI makes a mistake? Embarrassing, expensive, dangerous? This decision tree is quite simple. Need real-time data? Grok. Complex automation or coding? Claude. Visual content creation? Gemini. General purpose or consumer-facing? ChatGPT. Start there, then optimize based on volume and risk. Let me give you a real example. Analyzing customer reviews to identify issues with your product. Analytical, extracting structured data. 10,000 reviews per month. Multi-turn, needs to categories, extract themes, and then summarize. If the worst case occurs, it only results in a missed insight. The answer? Claude. It excels at extracting data. The high volume means that quality is more important than cost. Versus creating graphics for a campaign. Visual and creative. 50 images per month. Single turn, generate and refine. The risk is low. It's marketing, not compliance. The answer? Gemini, visual speciality and integrated workflow if you're in Google Workspace. See how that works? Look, the AI monopoly is dead. The winners of 2026 aren't the ones with the most AI. They are the ones using the right AI for the right use cases. Your task for this week: 1. Audit one workflow you're currently using AI for. 2. Run it through the framework. 3. Test it on all of the models that I've recommended. I've built you a free AI model selection worksheet, link in the description. Share this with your leadership team. They need to see this. And if you found this valuable, subscribe for more frameworks like this. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.